Hi, you're with Scott. This is Battery Exhausted, my channel. It's midnight, it's always midnight. This is your right ear and your left ear, this is mono. Hi, you're with Scott. This is Ganji Kid, our Twitch stream. It's midnight, it's always midnight. It actually is, so I should be quiet. This is your right ear and your left ear. Brazil is building a new statue. Why is it so dark? Manage your cookies. Oh, I just accept all. I'd have to go back and change that. Now they're stealing me data. Look, they're building this big statue of Jesus. Look at it. It's like a tower block. You're going to have in that, you're going to have in the middle of it, there's going to be a lift, like an elevator, a lift. You're going to be able to go up to Jesus' chest. What the fuck's that? Gone. There you go. They're building this giant Jesus. Then you're going to be able to go up to his chest about here, about where I get my anxiety, about there. And you're going to be able to look out across southern Brazil. It's not in Rio. It's in a different part. It's in the south of Brazil. Rio's got their own giant Jesus, haven't they? Rio. This is a list of all the monumental statues of Jesus. Rio. Where's Rio? Oh, what's it called as well? It's called something like Christ the... is it Christ the Redeemer? That's weird. I know there's one in Poland as well, isn't there? That's Christ the King in Poland. Yeah, look at this. So, we're just going to have to... Rio's. I don't want to Google it. I want to get Ecosia. Let's go big face for a second. Let's just go big face just for a second. Just so I can... Hi Callum, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm all right. It's quite late where I am. It's quite late. So I'm going to try and be a little bit quiet. But I had this thing buzzing in my head because I saw this news story about this giant statue of Jesus that they're building. Christ the Redeemer. It is Christ the Redeemer. Christ the Redeemer. Web browsing. There we are. That's Christ the Redeemer. That's in Rio. It's giant Jesus, isn't it? Absolutely. Hang on, let me move chat. Let me shuffle you. Why don't you shuffle up? There you are. Shuffle you. You just shuffle up there. There you go. 2314. Yeah, well, that's weird. Are you looking at my computer? How did you know that? You're looking at me over my shoulder at my clock. That's my clock. I'll cover it over and now you can't see it, so now you don't know what the time is. That's spooky. So this is Christ the Redeemer in Rio. Okay, they've got a great big Jesus there. Been there since 1931. 1922 and 1930. It took them 9 years to build it. Georgi Leander fashioned the face. And an engineer, Albert Calcott, did some of it. I mean, it's a massive, giant, 30 metres high. So that's our benchmark here. 30 metres high. Christ the Redeemer. Got his arms out. I mean, I'm in the UK, but I'd say... That's spooky, though. It's changed now, you see, so you won't know what it is now. It's gone different, so it's different now. It's different on my watch as well, so, yeah. That's back to normal. I got bits of cake, but I got cat hair on some of them. So when I'm looking down here and messing about like this and picking bits, it's because I'm picking bits of cat hair off my cake. I'm not picking cat hair out of anything else. It's just on my cake. I don't like to eat on stream usually. I think it's rude to be, talking and eating with my mouth full. But it's late at night. Late night cake. So anyway, we've got this great big Jesus. He's a great big Jesus. He's up there in Portugal. Boom, great big Jesus. And I thought we'd make a template tier maker. Here we are, create a template. Describe the image set. The image set will be giant Jesus. But there's a problem, is that you've got to upload all the files. I've got to rip all the photos off the internet. That's fine, I can do that. There's another problem though, is look, I've got to do all the pictures. I've got to get them all together. Because that's Jesus in Rio. But there's this one. How many of these? Look at them. There's loads of them. Loads. These are monumental statues. These aren't just little statues or reasonably sized statues. These are monumental statues of Jesus. And there are loads of them. So I thought we'll look at them all. We probably won't have time tonight before bedtime to look at them all. But we'll try and have a quick look at them all. We'll try and have a short list. I've got a little notepad window in another window. We'll do a short list, right? We'll make a short list of the ones that we think are the top 10 contenders. And then from that short list, I'll rip all the pictures, make the template maker, and then we can do a stream where we rank Giant Jesus in order of who's the best Giant Jesus. Ooh. Shh! People are in bed and that's my cake. Don't smash up the cake. I'll make my own cake. This one's gone a bit flat because you're a vegan and you don't use the same ingredients as normal people to make a cake. So no eggs, bit of a flat cake, but it's alright. It's got chocolatey. You think any more giant statues of Jesus? Maybe there are, because the Rio one doesn't seem to be on this list, and the Rio one is the main one, isn't it? So I think they've missed that one off. Maybe they think because many other it says at the top. Maybe I'm missing out that this is Christ. Oh, it's at the top there. Look, Christ the Redeemer. Of course, it's at the top. They've separated it because it's so important. But we're going to find out. Maybe it's not the best one. Maybe it's not. We'll find out. But in order to find out, we need to look at all of these. So I need to get looking at them. We need to get looking at them. We need to get looking at these giant pictures. I mean, there are other things I need to do in my life, but for some reason tonight now, before I go to bed, it seemed this is what my... Let's go big face for a second. This is what my problem is. I was going to be in bed. I was going to go to bed, but I just got this thing about the news article. Seen that now, like I was thinking about Giant Jesus in the news. I need to go to where's my news article about Giant Jesus. Saw this in the news, and I saw this statue going on. It started triggering these thoughts in my brain. Trigger warning. Giant Jesus. Giant Jesus, trigger warning. So what I thought was, for a start, if you're building a statue, like a statue that's going to be that big anywhere in the world for any reason, if you're building a giant statue, you've got a good reason. You better have a good reason, because it's going to cost loads of money. I'm a bit quiet now, aren't I? Just turn it up a little bit. Just up a little bit. And why do they need 2 giant Jesus statues? Yeah, exactly. That. I was like, what? It's going to cost you so much money to put up this ginormous statue of Jesus. It's going to, it's such a huge investment project. I don't know who's paying for it. I don't know who's the architect, whatever, but they're going for this. And like, up the road, they've already got one. So what are you saying in your town in Brazil? Are you saying F you up the road? Rio de Janeiro. Everyone's always talking about Rio de Janeiro, but we've got the bigger Jesus. Our Jesus is bigger than yours. My Jesus is bigger than yours, or something like that. That didn't work, did it? That didn't work in the right tempo. My Jesus is bigger than... my Jesus is bigger than yours. My Jesus is bigger than yours. He's got his arms out and he's up big. My Jesus is bigger than yours. My Jesus. Christ even more. Christ will come and kick your ass in Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro is a... Oh, no. Is that what they're trying to say? I'm not saying that. Is that what they're trying to say? So... that's what occurred to me. They got this giant Jesus thing going. A second. And so I thought, it occurred to me, have we had enough? No, we haven't had enough statues of Jesus. Look, they've got loads of them. I didn't realise there was this many. So that's where we've come to. That's where we've come to now. That's where we're at in my brain. There's too many statues of Jesus. They're too many. They're too big. And I've got to rate them. I've got to learn. I need to know. I need to know. But there's something else that occurred to me. Got this in England, right? The Angel of the North. Look at that. It doesn't always have a Santa hat on. Usually it's this giant iron sculpture. Sits on, I don't know exactly where it sits, on a hill, doesn't it? On a hill. You're driving the motorway up to north. If you're on motorway up to north, you head in that direction. You go past this fucking giant monolithic Angel of the North. It's quite recent. Anthony Gormley is the sculptor, I believe. Let me just... Oh, it says button that says Gormley, so it must be, mustn't it? Gormley, yeah. Anthony Gormley created this, and that's what I'm going to be judging Giant Jesus off. That's our benchmark. I know Rio de Janeiro's got their Jesus, but we got this in England, and it rocks, it kicks ass. When I look at that, I think so many different things. It's never been explicitly explained to me what it's supposed to stand for, what it means, but personally, I'm not sure. Like when I hear the word angel, I always think female for some reason. I'm not sure it's a feminine sculpture. I'm not sure it's a male sculpture. I'm not sure about the... it might be a feminine physique, I'm not sure. But these huge windmill-esque wings, if it wasn't called the angel, you wouldn't naturally assume they were wings. You'd be like, what the F is this? It's almost like a warden, isn't it? It's like a sphinx standing guard to the north. Like, it's almost like it looks like a wall, or a wall. I can't say wall, can I? A wall. It's almost like it's a great iron structure, and in the north, it's near Newcastle. Newcastle's in the north, so yeah, we'll go yeah. In the north, they built steel, they built ships and mined things and mined coal and steelworks and all this industry, the Industrial Revolution. One of my great ancestors, if you go on Wikipedia and you type in William Ozias Jessup, you find my great ancestor. We'll talk about that one downstream. He was an engineer. It's an interesting story. Engineering, great big, railroads and steam and engineering, built the country, built the empire off that history. That's what this says to me, this huge metallic iron rusting angel. The fact they've named it the angel seeps into your psyche, and so it gives it a benevolent like a benevolent character. You feel it's on your side, protecting you or guarding the country that you are in. It's protective rather than aggressive, and you don't have to fear it. It's an angel, of course, but if it wasn't called the angel, then I don't know if it would still feel the same way. If they called it the Devil of the North, whether I'd see this red monolithic structure and think differently. But it's called the angel. It's up there. They called it. That's all they gave to you. They call it the angel. They don't give you a booklet and say, think about this when you look at it. So that's what I feel. It's monolithic, structural. They built it in recent times. We didn't go for a Jesus. In our country, we are only 30% into Jesus. That's how it is. Even though the Queen's the head of the state and she's in the church, and most people, if you say, do you believe in God and the church, they'll probably just go, no, but go there for Christmas or something. We recognise the church and its institution, but 30% of people in this country are Christian, practicing. That's the sort of stats. I don't think it's accurate, is it? I just made it up, but didn't just make it up. I saw it in the news. So we didn't go for a Jesus. We went for I don't know what it is, angel, didn't we? But that's a good, in my opinion, good public art. I think it's pretty cool. I think it stands for something. So then we got Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. This is, I suppose, compared to the Angel of the North, it's quite good, isn't it? Quite good. Now when you look at it, Seagull of the North doesn't sound... You could have a seagull, couldn't you? Giant seagull of the North. But then, if all the birds sat on a giant seagull, do you think birds, because birds like to sit on statues, don't they? Do you think they would be attracted by a giant statue of a bird? Or do you think they would in some way think that we were paying homage to them and their kind? Or do you think that they'd be scared by this hulking great winged monstrosity? I don't know. Maybe they see these statues and think that we're trying to communicate in some way with our winged sculptures. Christ the Redeemer, out there in Brazil. I was going to read all the stats and go through it all, but we've got a lot to get through, haven't we? So probably not going to get through them all in this stream, but got a lot to get through. I'll just quickly click the look. You can see the bits at the top there now. That's nice, isn't it? I looked at them, bloody hell. I shouldn't swear, but bloody hell. It's a lot of bits. Bloody hell. I'm going to save them up and I'll do something good with them. Yeah, so it's in Portugal. No, it's in Brazil. They just speak Portuguese. You can go up it. You can go up and have a look. It's got like, you can have a day out going up the mountain. It sits over the top of the rest of Brazil. So if you're in Rio, you can see that mainly wherever you are. I think you can always have a look up. That's one aspect, isn't it? It's an interesting aspect. It is just Jesus, really, isn't it? It's not. They've not gone for anything, out there. It's his face with his little beard. He's got his robes. He's got his arms out. It's kind of. It's not on the cross, is he? He's not being crucified in this one, but it's making you think about it a little bit. Rio's got the better statue than mine. Greg's. Yeah, you can't get a Greg's in a favela. And to be honest, although they go on about how dangerous these favelas are, I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them set up their favelas in February in the cold in Newcastle. I think it would be a lot more difficult. They're lucky they've got the nice weather, haven't they? But people in Newcastle are so tough, they can go around without their shirts on. That's what I heard. But yeah, so we're going to say Christ the Redeemer against the Angel of the North. Yeah, Christ the Redeemer is good. I suppose it's good. And that's on our shortlist because it has to be, because it's the main one. And 8 metres. 8 metres there is a bit of a... Keep that in mind. 8 metres, 26 foot. Oh no, that's just its pedestal. It's 30 metres high. And they put it on an 8 metre pedestal so it looks even higher. That's cheeky, isn't it? If you want to build the world's biggest Jesus, building yourself an 8 metre pedestal to put it on. You steak bacon, your favela. Got no sausage rolls, have you? Got no sausage rolls. It's probably why they're all so cross. It's probably why they're all shooting each other. I shouldn't joke. Where's the sausage rolls, eh? Call me. Hands up like that, and these hot pocket bags just boom, boom, boom. They do a nice vegan sausage roll, I've heard, but I wouldn't go in there and buy it because they sell so many steak bags. Right. 30 metres though, that's where we're, 30 metres. I'm going to put that on the notes. So, statues of Jesus, top 10. We've got Rio, Jesus, 30 metres. Right. But it is cheeky if you're going to make a big statue to put a big plinth. It's like cheating in a way, isn't it? Let's go to our statues, right? Down the list then. I'm pretty sure we'll get through all of these tonight, won't we? And we'll be... Yeah, definitely. What time is it? Oh, I've been on for half an hour. How many have I done? 1. How many am I allowed to get through before bedtime? Probably got another half hour, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, maybe longer. It's past the watershed. Yeah, but I don't. If I swear on stream, if I get used to doing it and it's just a normal thing, like a bad habit that I'm in, then when I don't want to swear, I will, and that'll be bad. And then generally, the way I look at it is, some younger people might watch. They might watch. It's out there. It's on the internet. Anyone could walk past. So if I was just in my front garden, just chatting to some people, my friends like you, and kids were going past on their bike. Someone was pushing their buggy on the way or whatever, and I was in the garden going, yeah, fucking this and fucking that and shit this, and I said the word, but doing all that, the kids are going to hear. They're just going to hear. It's just going to happen, and I can use better words if I think more carefully. I can use better words. So the onus is on me to not be lazy and setting a bad example without thinking, not to be rude without thinking to the wider world. We're on Twitch. It's a global broadcasting system. So right now, just talking to you, I'm pretty sure that none of us are going to be worried if I just say a few swear words. But if I keep effing and blinding all the time, it becomes a bad habit, and then we're just a rude stream when we don't want to be. So if I can keep it universal, suitable for all, then I think we're okay in the long run. I think we're okay. Won't accidentally say something rude in front of someone's nan sometime. you know.